AFK God tier Necromancer for the end game with the army of the dead in your fingertips. This is by far the most favorite Necromancer build I have seen yet. Okay, now we're gonna explain the skill tree. So right here we put 2 points just to unlock the rest of the tree. Then we go Blight, and then we go all the way towards Supernatural Blight. Blight is our spammable move, just so we don't stand around. We generate corpses with this skill right here. Then we head down and we get the spiked armor, which adds more armor and thorns. We increase our skeletal warrior mastery to increase their damage. Then we take bone prism. I love bone prism. Enhanced bone prism. To make this, I replace what's the name of it? This one, corpse tendrils. I replace corpse tendrils that makes enemies vulnerable. I replaced it with bone prism, which also makes, but it generates essence back, so I could keep spamming. So I could keep spamming my blight. And right here makes them vulnerable as well. Then, instead of taking the Crepify, which you could take the Crepify, and then you could take this one, which reduces your cooldowns of your skills, which is really good. But I went with Iron Maiden instead. Enhance Iron Maiden, and then what does it say there? Abrohan Iron Maiden to wait. Your maximum life when enemies die. So this one heals me and it triggers my unique, which gives me more armor. And right here it regenerates, it costs no essence, and it regenerates essence for each enemy within the Iron Maiden. With these two skills together, I could keep spamming my Blight, and with the Iron Maiden, I recover all my essence, and I could keep throwing Blight and recover all my essence in a loop. Therefore, that's my spammable, and it works. It just works. So here we increase the damage that enemies, the damage to cursed enemies, which the curse is the Iron Maiden. Death's Embrace, of course, more damage. Then over here, Skeletal Mage Mastery, more damage. Then we head down and we take Necrotic Carapace. For when a corpse is formed, the skills your skill or your minions, you fortify max. So this one, my minions are constantly, I'm constantly doing corpses, and my minions, I could put it as well. Reaper's Pursuit for increased speed. Gloom for more damage with darkness. Increased shadow damage, you and your minions. And my minions have shadow damage. I also made this one Terror, rank 3, because of the stun. It says chilled enemies, immobilized, frozen, and stunned enemies, and I have a lot of stun. Then we head down even more and we go full Golem Mastery. Our ultimate is Army of the Dead, fully capped out. The Army of the Dead empowers your skeletons, your minions, and it's just you press the button and all of a sudden everything is dead, which is, you gotta love that. It's just amazing. Then we go Inspiring Leader. Inspiring Leader for increased critical chance, which is amazing for the stun. Your minions deal 45 increased damage when you're close to them, which is really good. Your minions gain increased armor and resistance to all elements. That's just for survivability. I actually have to try these out, swap these out, and try this one to see how this one fares. Well, here your skeletons additional. More defense or more heal. I'm testing that out. And then at the end, we go Shadow Blight, which works with our legendary effect and our weapon. If we go to our gear, we can see in our helmet, we increase our skeletal warriors and mages by 2, which is really good for DPS. Basically, you get more DPS. In our armor, our chest piece right here, I have Iron Maiden is a darkness skill. Iron Maiden has 25% chance to be to stun as well. So there we have an element of stunning. In our gloves, we have Skeletal Priest empower your skeleton warriors to deal shadow damage, which is really good, and they also have a chance to stun. So right here and right here, we have 2 stuns. This is the Temerity, which is an amazing pants that I still haven't found level 90. So I'm still wearing the same ones because it's just amazing. As you can see, I'm wearing maximum life increase gems, which is the rubies, in all my armor. In my shoes, I am wearing Blight. Blight defiles an area on it and pulls the. Okay, so this one is actually the Void aspect, not Blight. Void. Every time I blight an enemy, it pulls them in. So every time I throw my blight, it just pulls everything in instead of using corpse tendril or something like that. As you can see, the footage is just, it works. And this includes Bone Prison, which spawns blight, and the actual blight, it just pulls everything in. And this is why I use Bone Prison instead of corpse tendril. It works the same. As you can see right here in this ring, I have Bone Prison spawns a pool of blight and deals extra damage over, But the thing about it is that they pull the enemy in, so I love it. I like it because it replaces corpse tendrils. Over here in this ring, I have Army of the Dead, which is really good when you use your ultimate skill. It increases your damage by 88%. I still haven't gotten the 100, and increases and increases their defense by 90, which is epic.
So in one button, you summon an invincible army of destruction. And that's where you get the army of the dead. You're the best necromancer ever.
And as you can see on all my jewelry, I'm wearing resistance to all elements, just to increase that resistance. In my amulet right here, I have summoning minions. It just increases the attack speed, which is amazing. The damage and the attack speed is really good because that's basically DPS, just DPS all the way. And then we'll look at our stats right here. We see our resistances, maxed out some of them, and the other ones close enough. Can't complain. Then in our weapon, we have the most essential aspect, legendary aspect, which is you deal 216, and I can't wait to max this out. For 6 seconds after you trigger Shadow Blade key passive. And I have 2 diamonds in it, which is ultimate damage as well. That syncs up with the Army of the Dead. And I'm trying to make the whole build sync together.
And the best part of the build is actually that you don't really have to do much. You could just press one button just to heal your minions. And you could pretty much just stand there. If you even wanted to, you don't even have to stay there. You could just go AFK. And this is, as you can see, level 90 and they're level 100. So they're like 10 levels above me. And I don't even gotta worry because my shield from my Terramity just keeps talking. And I'm just fine. So this is what makes the build great for AFK. It just survives and the minions take care of everything. Your minion army.
Now, before I forget, the Paragon board. This is the first time I have ever paid this much attention to the Paragon board. I always found it tedious and annoying, but since I actually want to get things right and how I do it, whatever, I want to make it work for me. I've been paying attention to my Paragon. So we started here, we worked our way up, we try to grab offenses and defenses this time for the resistances. Then in the first glyph, I just threw skeleton mages, increased damage, and minions resist all elements, just to increase the damage and survivability. Then I kept going, offense and defense, kept going up the tree, and the first tree I took right here, does it tell me the name of the tree? What is this? This is, the cult leader. Cult leader Paragon board is the one I took next. Of course, for the attack speed bonus, which is more DPS. So besides that, I took summoning damage, the puppeteer, which is amazing. Over here, I threw shadow damage. Increase, you deal more shadow damage. Whenever your minions deal shadow damage to the enemy deals reduced damage to you. So increased shadow damage and more defense, which is always good. Then more summoning and shadow damage. What else? More damage reduction and damage reduction is a big thing, and increasing damage, just the basics. I went here to the, what is this? This is the Golem Paragon board, the Golem. So increase Golem life and damage. Then we went this way to increase more damage. And this is why I have so much intelligence. There's so much intelligence in the Paragon path. I have no control over that. So then we reach the next one, which increases the damage, shadow damage. Did I show this one, or is this just more shadow damage? Your minions deal 10% increased damage to affected by shadow damage over time enemies. So it's just like a lot of shadow, a lot of damage, a lot of defense. Then we go into what Paragon board is this? Wither. What Paragon board is this? The one with Wither. So your shadow damage over time effects have a chance to deal bonus damage. Just more damage in general, and then more life. I actually would like to expand all the way over here and get more life and more shadow damage, but I actually rushed down to the Flesh Eater Paragon board. Consuming corpses grants 40% increased damage, which is more damage, really good. Over here, more damage, critical strike damage, damage to elites, and this one is damage to injured enemies. And then I tried to rush my way over here, which I did recently for the golem glyph, which increases the golem damage. And I yet to unlock the enhancement, the bonus that the golem deals 25 increase damage on top of everything. So I have to unlock willpower, 25 willpower. So I have one here that I'm gonna unlock. So here's 1, 2, 3, and then we have 4. Okay, 1, 2, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4 actually, and then we have 5, and that will make it pass because each one gives me 5, and this one gives me 7. So that will give me the necessary points to unlock this. So I gotta level up a few more times to max out my damage. But golem is very essential because in my gear, as you can see, I try to, like you can see right there, 115% golem damage. And then over here, golem active cooldown. And I wish I would have got over here. I got golem damage, but I'm thinking maybe golem cooldown, because what's the point of damage? The more he attacks, the more DPS, but the higher he attacks, the more single shot high damage. So I try my best to get anything that has golem damage, as you can see right there in my weapon. Golem damage. So the golem is essential in this build. It's like the main damage dealer. And at the end, everything syncs up, and that's what makes the Necromancer a god tier this season. Like, here I'm level 91, and the enemy is 120, so technically 30 levels above me. And it's just child's play. It's nothing. God tier Necromancer build right there. And now here's some footage of me helping World Tier 1 new players that are doing the Helltide event. And I actually went to eat, and I left my character right there in World Tier 1 because nothing is ever gonna kill me. And when people trigger the event, my minions pretty much kill everything, and people could just get loot really easily and spam the event and just get loot over and over and over, no problem. Which is my way of making the game a little bit social and trying to help new players go up faster. Because the game, to be honest, it doesn't have a lot of social connectivity. They should have put chat bubbles. They should have put a lot of things that a lot of people seem to agree that the game should have been more easy to connect with people. But this is just, me trying to make it a little bit fun for those newer players and easier for them to get the gear and level up that they need. But yeah, at the end of the day, this Necromancer build is my own tweaking, my own build, and I think I'm gonna try another build, which is the Bone Storm Necromancer. I'm actually gonna try to I'm going to get to level 100, keep playing, kill a few more bosses, and when I'm nice and ready and got the gear to tweak it, then I'll just switch to Bone Storm and I'll check out a different build. Now, some tips to get gold. I have a lot of gold, and the reason is because, first of all, I haven't upgraded all my gear all the way to the end. There's still some time left for me to perfect my gear, but I sell everything. Like, I pretty much sell anything that's yellow. I grab it and sell it. I farm yellows in Helltide and just sell it all in the shop. And unless the item has a legendary that will upgrade the effect that I already have,
I will probably sell it too, because at this point I got enough materials. So that's how I make my gold. Another thing is that if you need materials, you could actually start a new character and get all the wolf, the what is it, the seasonal event loot that you could claim from the wolf reputation. You could claim it with a new character, and you could pretty much transfer it to your original character, like your main, and you'll have all the materials you're missing. And there's a lot of materials that they give you that are actually quite useful, so you could pretty much take advantage of that mechanic and at the same time make different builds, different characters. So that's actually a really good thing to get materials. So there you go, guys. This is the AFK Necromancer God build with the immortal army of the dead by your side. If this video was helpful to you, leave a like, subscribe to see my future content, because I'm definitely gonna do more. And I appreciate all of you guys for commenting and giving me tips, your opinions, and things that I should try and possibly don't know about. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next time.